One of the biggest blessings of the 20th century is the World Wide Web. As Muslims, we should take advantage of the ni'mah that is the internet. Information readily available at the click of a button that we would struggle to find in a book after studying and studying. We can easily look it up on Google or Wikipedia, and it's found there, and the information can be highlighted and saved later for our benefit and the development of our deen and our theology and our worldview. However, with that doesn't exempt us from also monitoring our behavior online. Akhlaq is of the utmost importance when it comes to Muslims and the internet. Forms of expression has changed. You would not express yourself the same way you would in real life like you do online. For example, you could find it very easy to send a kiss emoji, like you would blow a kiss towards someone in response to their comment, the opposite gender, someone you don't even know, and it's not representative of love necessarily. It's not even representative of like intimacy. It's just I am in agreement, for example. It could come across like that with that meaning, but you wouldn't do it in real life. Simply blow a kiss. And in fact, that sounds rather humorous. Online, however, whether it was your intention or not, you have to take a few things into consideration. Forms of expression, yes, have changed, and perhaps interpretation of said expressions have also changed. So the heart, the blowing kiss emoji, or even certain acronyms and phrases that have been put down into a set of acronyms, we have to watch out. At the end of the day, our behavior offline should mimic our behavior inline or online. That being said, people find it very easy to communicate in ways that they wouldn't do so if they were meeting face to face. Using slurs, racial terms, derogatory terms, just because they are put in an acronym form doesn't make them any less haram. You could think of a wrong derogatory term, a masabba, as we might even call it. You would never utter it in real life. Like you would not say it in the presence of your family, in the presence of your friends. It's a haram word. That's not befitting to be spoken by the Muslim tongue. But it's found online in forms of like acronyms. We could think of a few examples off the top of our heads. In addition to that, our behavior with the opposite gender, with non-Muslims, has to also be taken into consideration. We can't innocently claim we are simply just liking someone's content, someone's material, without considering a little bit of the ramifications. To you, it's liking. To them, it's an endorsement to their behavior, to the way they express themselves, to how they look, to what they said. All this seems like it's a lot to consider, but yeah, with great comfort, with great ease, with great exposure, doesn't mean that we just negate how we behave all of a sudden. Online, if you express yourself by liking the content of, say, someone from the opposite gender, there's nothing haram with that. It's absolutely fine. But how you do it, would it be befitting if you were married, for example, and you start sending hearts all of a sudden, and you start sending that kissing emoji all of a sudden? If today's societal expectation is that this doesn't represent intimacy, it's just a form of endorsement, is your excuse, and that's not enough. Islam, Ahlul Bayt, has its rules and has its terms. If we are to be Muslims, we can't be Muslims offline. We have to be Muslims everywhere, online especially. In addition to this, take advantage of it. Represent yourself in a beautiful way. With these rules, with these regulations, it might feel like now we're so restricted. We're already restricted when we go about our day-to-day affairs in real life. Now you want to restrict us online? No, in fact, take advantage of the looseness, of the easiness of the internet, of the easiness of social media. There's this wrong impression that social media is the biggest haram there was ever created in the 21st century. That can't be further from the truth. It's a means to reconnect, to even potentially find people to partner up with workers, business associates, and so on and so forth. Even learn more about your faith. But there's a matter and a manner that should be taken into consideration. Akhlaq. Your akhlaq online should be representative of your akhlaq offline. Imagine today, if you have someone standing behind you while you were typing away, while you were searching, of course that's the most annoying thing anyone can do. At the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always watches our behavior. And He is not away when we go on social media all of a sudden. Our behavior, yes, even if it's done in an anonymous fashion, you don't want to hurt the feelings of other people for the sake of a joke, for the sake of piling on a particular movement. There were a few brothers who saw that it was part of a trend to make an account and say a few insulting words to a particular celebrity. Now, albeit the celebrity was a singer and they released a song that was very goofy and they found it very funny, but the singer wanted to make the song very inspirational, so it came out, as some might call it, even cringy. So it was very funny to make fun of them. That singer ultimately killed themselves. And there were Muslims behind the piling up of mockery and whatnot and making fun of them. And it happened a few years back. Where, yeah, it's fun. Let's get on this trend. Let's ride this wave of whatever's happening online. But consider the ramifications. To you, it's a simple joke. To someone, it could be very harmful. It could be very effective in making them see the world go against them. You wouldn't want people piling in on you from the excuse of a trend. Likewise, don't do it to others. Yeah, but it's not me doing it in my name. It's just an anonymous account, and perhaps the username is a collection of numbers and letters. Still, the message was sent across, and you hurt someone's feelings. Another issue that should be taken into consideration is privacy. Yes, because you are speaking one-on-one, doesn't mean that you are 100% private. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always watching. So that person who you are only innocently speaking with, you have to watch the way you speak, especially if it's someone who's not a relative to you, a sister that's not related to you. Remembering the beautiful tradition of the Holy Prophet, you are not alone with the opposite gender who is a foreigner to you, except that shaitan is the third of the three. That chat room, sure, it's only you and them, but watch that behavior. You don't want someone speaking in private, a stranger, with your daughter, with your sister, with your mother, with any relative of yours. And even for our sisters, you don't want that behavior out there. Because it's private, yes, they can take that material. They can save it for themselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always watching, so maintain that decorum, that professionalism that's always there. People change, and because they feel this added security from the blanket of social media, that they are not being necessarily seen, they could delete what they have, they might feel more likely to speak their words than they would otherwise in real life. And so because someone might have sent you that emoji, that term, that derogatory term, but put in an acronym form, doesn't mean we give them the same treatment back. You can maintain your morals and principles. They can do whatever they want to do. But you at the end of the day are a Muslim, offline and online. And inshallah ta'ala, may Allah help us in that regard. Monitor the behavior of the young ones you have at home, because you don't know. Like you wouldn't expose them to the entire planet, anyone come and send a message to them, you don't want that to happen on the internet as well. Monitor their behavior, but likewise monitor your behavior. Acronyms are not just innocent excuses to say cuss words, but put into a singular letter form. Emojis as well. Akhlaq needs to be maintained, for we do not know the impact that it can have on other people's lives. Muslims should take advantage of social media. Definitely. Take advantage of the internet. Use it to your benefit. There is no harm. Upload your image. Make yourself look proud and happy and professional as well. Do not be someone that can just allow people to walk over them, find as a joke. No, you are a Muslim, proud. Let that be made clear. In-line, offline, whatever it may be. But when you do so, maintain that decorum. Maintain that professionalism. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help you in that regard. Many people have been guided Many people have been inspired through the means of social media online and the means in which was expressed through an individual's akhlaq. Maintaining all of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless you, whether it is online or offline.